how's it going? It's happy 4th to you.
Hey, happy 4th to you too, Drac.
You know what I like to think of when I think of July 4th?
What's
This
that?
this always comes to
How
mind.
about multimillionaires? How about 8 inches and thick?
And that, at the end of the day, is what America is really about. I agree. I think that's-
Yeah.
So, things, how are things going for you, Drac? I had a little stream yesterday. I'm a little tired.
Yeah, you were up late streaming yesterday.
Yeah, not super late, but maybe in the future, dude. Who knows? It was pretty fun. I might just transition to being a straight up Minecraft / gambling streamer,
Yeah, you could get that steak sponsorship.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, I actually would love a SPINDASH sponsorship, but we'll come to that later. Now, let's talk about what are your plans on for the 4th, actually? Are you going to do anything? Are we holding you up here? You got the glory.
Not really. No, I was telling you before the stream started that my office, apparently somebody had just turned off like all of the lights in the whole building, I guess because they're like, it's 3-day weekend. We should just turn off, save 20 cents on the no, but no big plans. I mean, the usual stuff. Gonna cook some burgers. Gonna smoke a cigar, maybe drink some whiskey. All that kind of stuff.
I love it, dude. It sounds like
maybe get on a jet ski this weekend. Maybe.
What?
Maybe get on a jet ski and really crank it up a notch. You know what I mean?
That's the funnest thing in the world you could possibly do. I don't know if anyone out there hasn't ridden a jet ski before. It's probably one of the funnest things you could possibly ever do in your life. Although it is a little dangerous. You don't want to double up. I doubled up once. Terrible experience.
Yeah. You got to have your own, man. That's for sure.
Let's check out this S price here. What do you think about this? Does this look hot, sexy? Does this look dead, decaying?
Well, we had a little pump yesterday. A lot of people are upset that price is back down today, but it's kind of one of those things like holidays, especially weekends are already like a very more volatile price. Just kind of, I think the best way to explain it to me is I almost try to not be doing anything over the weekend if I can help it, right? Because you just never know what's going to happen. It's people manipulate price more. And also there's just way less volume and liquidity and everything else. So I wasn't shocked to see our pump yesterday just kind of end up flat, going right into a big holiday weekend. I'm not too concerned. It's a little, it's a bit of a pullback, but just looking at the S chart here, you should actually feel pretty good about this because we started tumbling May 15th, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 2 months ago, basically, right? We've been tumbling for 8 weeks. And we're just now starting to move into the moving averages here, which this is just a simple alligator indicator, which is just a set of moving averages. But the way you play this indicator usually is that when it taps here in the middle, then you're looking at more of a bullish flip, right? So
point.
So it's been 8 weeks since we've had, we've been below these lines the whole time.
It's been about a week from when I last looked at it. The RSI was also oversold to shit insane for a good few days.
Yeah, so I think that we're we're I'm looking at this right here. Yeah, we're moving up there. So yeah, all in all, I'm actually pleased with what's happening right now. I think we're winding up. There was something that kind of concerned me. That
what's that?
It's kind of a phenomena, really. Bitcoin dominance is at a new all-time high right now.
Yeah,
but alts are still moving.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that means, honestly. It's kind of like in the movies where there's some guy reading the radio signals from space.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's like, what is happening? This is very, I don't know. It's very weird to me. So we're kind of seeing something that I don't know if we've really seen before, honestly. It's It's weird. Dominance is up extremely high on Bitcoin, but alts are still also having like a positive movement. So
Is it just that like certain alts are like outperforming significantly? It's like a mass extinction event for a lot of other alts or something, maybe?
no, it was kind of across the board this week, with the moves that like everything kind of moved. It wasn't like for instance during these last 8 weeks, when we were kind of having like a tumble, everything was tumbling, but except for like hype.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really like a scenario like that. It's like everything was kind of having like a leg up this week. So I guess we have to keep monitoring the situation, but it's interesting.
I, of course, will be monitoring the situation. I'll be putting a bounty on anyone who sells. So be very careful about how many hot dogs you're ordering this year. Okay.
Yeah. If we track down your Sonic name to the cell, I just get out of town, brother.
Shoot, I almost feel bad for you.
Yeah.
I almost feel bad for you, dude. Look at this. Corval Bucks. My mom got me this for my birthday. Isn't it fun?
Yeah, we got a whole team looking at this stuff. So I don't recommend it.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you do want to speculate on Sonic price, but you don't want to get in a spot, but you want to bet, you want to do some betting, we got just the guy here for you. You guys can do all kinds of predictions. Let's bring up our guest here, Vince Staples from SPINDASH.
Hey.
There we go.
How are you guys doing today? Happy 4th.
Happy 4th, man. So I pulled up SPINDASH here. It's this, right? This is SPINDASH.
Yeah, so we got the name as, it's Sonic's super move.
Yeah, it's his powered up move. But no, in all seriousness here, SPINDASH. Yeah, Vince, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, man? Who are you? How long you been in the ecosystem, and or how long you been building?
So I'm Vince, by the way. So I started my crypto journey like 2 years back, and we've been building for a couple months before discovering Sonic. So we've been building a couple months, and we're looking for a chain that kind of that aligns with what we believe in, like decentralized finance and tech users and all of that. So that's why we decided to, as a first time builder, I think Sonic was the perfect chain for me to launch SPINDASH. So
awesome, love to hear it, dude. I think that's kind of really what the foundation with the Labs team is angling for, is getting new people in, making it as easy as possible. So let's take a look at what you guys have built here. Like SPINDASH has 2 parts here. It seems like a betting market for price prediction in the 3-minute 33-second time frame, and a prediction market, a more typical prediction market where we're making bets. So I feel like this is fairly simple, right? Let's talk about the meaty thing here. Let's talk about the thing that gets people going, the prediction markets. How do your prediction markets work?
So SPINDASH is a decentralized prediction market. So essentially, we're a decentralized Gumbo FAI. So most people ask what makes SPINDASH different from other prediction markets, right? So basically, we are decentralized. So when I was telling you earlier that we wanted a chain that aligns with what we believe in, which are the users and decentralization in general. So SPINDASH is this decentralized in a way, not only because the odds are dictated by the users and the amount they bet on, which is the percentage you see, which how most prediction markets work. We're different in a way that the prediction markets, we don't create those. So users will be able to create prediction markets, anything under the sun, as long as it's binary. So although the markets that you see are markets that the users have created, and then the users that create the market earn revenue share. So they get 9% of total bets from the loser sides. and the other 1% gets bought back and burned. So we don't keep any revenue. That's why we chose Sonic as well, because we wanted to create a fully decentralized platform, and the fee monetization program lets us do that. So token success is also tied up to user bets and all that. So that's how it's different from other prediction markets. So let's say you and Corval want to bet on a something that you guys only you and your group of friends know about. You can create a prediction market for it, and you guys can bet on it. We kind of serve as a middleman, right? Say
Mhm.
a good example here is for the Kaito yappers, right? Someone created who will win the Kaido Yapper, who will take the crown, stuff like that, or will Elon Musk be deported in 2025? Like you can
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
create anything as long as it's under the sun.
Yeah, I'm looking at this right here. So here's what we got right now. Right, we got out of all the guys that are like on the top of the charts for the yappers. So we got 8-Bit Sam, the assistant Intel Scout, or Dr. DeFi.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is pretty interesting to look at because, like, let's see here, we got basically Dr. DeFi in the lead, Sam coming in second, not bad. Then assistant, then wait, all right, what's the percentage on Intel Scout there? 31%.
21%. I
Yeah,
think
kind
it's
of underrated,
valued.
right? He's making some
No,
great content for sure.
yeah,
I,
that's a dark horse there if you want to make some easy money.
yeah, I was thinking. So how do so AI is kind of resolving these markets? How does it
Yeah,
happen? Like, is it a time? There's a timer on it,
yeah.
but is it like
So
if it resolves before that too, or like if Elon Musk gets deported tomorrow,
uh,
money, right? Also, this
yeah,
is crazy. 50-50 on that. That's insane. On him being deported.
so essentially, the AI that we use is search by Perplexity. So it does intensive search every time. It also checks poly markets. For example, Elon Musk gets deported, and the market on poly market gets resolved. The AI will pick it up and then resolve the market. But for like instances that suddenly something happens, we have to step in. But we're upgrading the AI, so it does it in real time. Like it picks up the news and it locks the market. It locks the market so no one can bet on it anymore once it gets resolved. We use search by Perplexity, and it searched the entire net for results.
So
Stuff.
yeah, so basically the bet ends, and when the bet ends, this thing automatically goes out and checks for the answer.
Yeah, it gets resolved by AI.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Okay, pretty
And
cool. So you guys
on
will
top
step in
of
if it happens, but otherwise it just waits until there's like okay.
And those have always been the most fun on Polymarket, have been the things that, they have to come in by committee, and, you have these guys that, have millions of dollars in a bet, and they're like making this like insane case for like, something like in the wording or, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a smart way to do it. Try to make it as decentralized and autonomous as possible.
Yeah, definitely. This sounds fairly decentralized and autonomous. Because we have Polymarket is in the news right now. We want to talk about this a little bit. There's a lot of outrage right now around Polymarket. I believe it's around Zelensky's suit, whether or not Zelensky wore a suit, because I guess he did, but a lot of people, but the market resolved as he didn't. And how I
Yeah.
guess Polymarket resolves disputes is kind of like a voting.
Mm-hmm.
They vote on the truth. Like, so I guess
Yeah.
someone says this is resolved and then they decide. So you guys are kind of sidestepping that by just saying like the AI is the arbiter here.
Yeah, the AI will be the judge. They will it will dictate what the conclusion of the market is, and to avoid this suspicious poly market activity as well. Like with poly market, you get to choose from like already created markets, right? So that's why we created we stepped it up a notch where users actually create the markets, right? Like you, for example, you can create the market. You you can't like know if someone's gonna wear a suit or something like that, right? So we've made it completely decentralized to avoid stuff like this. And if there's issues or complicated stuff, we'll step in for sure. But as much as possible, we try to keep it as decentralized as possible.
Yeah, this is the kind of shit I'm talking about where, like, you know, if he blatantly wore a suit, there's somebody that's going to go in there and be like, actually, it's this kind of blazer. And based on the fabrics that are in this blazer, it's not technically considered a suit. You know, like people get real like crazy with it.
Oh yeah. Wait, you guys have chat too in here?
Oh, you got chat
Yeah,
box?
we added the general chat, but yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. But yeah, no, that is like the fun part, and that is going to be like the biggest challenge with this business model is exactly what Dracula is saying, where you know you get like legalese, especially when like the terms aren't extremely clear. Like so like for this one, right? The yapper for Kaido, I could see someone being like, well, the foundation people said they were excluded, so even if they're showing on their leaderboard, their points don't count. But I feel like got a pretty airtight one here where you're just saying top of the yappers for Kaido.
Yeah.
It's yes or no. That's why we're keeping it binary, since it is decentralized. You know, there could be ties, stuff like that, or someone else could win. So we keep it binary, answerable by yes or no questions, and it just makes it, you know, more decentralized in a way that they can't actually manipulate it. You know, if like someone else from these four wins the top yapper, all the markets will conclude as no. I will pick it up as no.
Hell yeah. Let's see. So like what would be a good market for us to make? I don't have any tokens yet. I'm gonna make a market after the show at least. I want to make a okay. What is something about the show?
We also have like crypto market.
Yeah, we need to make a market around the show that we can manipulate.
Yeah, Showtime. What is this? I think someone mentioned that before. Like, when is the betting on when the show starts? How many things a dip is Corval going to do? This is pretty cool though.
Yeah.
That we can make our own, because I've been talking about this a lot, dude. But talking about additional incentives. I wanted to bring up too. I saw you guys are in the points and gems program now.
Yeah. So when you bet on our two dApps, users will earn activity points and we earn gems too. We're also listed as dApps that earn points. So right now we're only catering to the SPINDASH token, as you can see. But pretty soon, sometime next week or next week or in 10 days, we're gonna be adding USDC betting, S betting, goggles, and eggs token as betting tokens for our platforms. So with those, users will be able to earn activity points for season 2. And I was telling the team, have you guys seen how season 2 works? It's perfect for adapts, right? Like there's actually, I've been talking to some people, you know, to our community. You can actually create your own market and be the house. Let's say Golden State versus LA Lakers, stuff like that. And then you can be the house by, let's say, go to FanDuel, look at the odds, and then you bet on both sides. So you created the market itself, you bet on both sides, you set the odds, right? And then you earn points. And then, like I said before, the creator of the markets get 9% revenue share from the losing bet. So they earn points, and on top of that, they earn the revenue. And yeah, it's just a pretty cool and fun way to do it. You become the house, so you don't bet against the house. You can become the house, and it also works in a way that it's free marketing, right? So let's say you create a market, so you get revenue share, you get incentivized for it. So you will try to get more betters, and so you'll tweet about it, you'll share your friends about it. So if you create a cool market and you say the losing side loses $1 million, and if we do get to a point where we're making volume as big as Polymarket, 9% of the losing side goes to you. So you're incentivized to share your market with everyone else.
Dude, all right. So I'm loving this, and a user journey is shaping up in my mind here, right? In that, you know, if it's any kind of market I want and I get to be my own bookie, right? I can literally just funnel people from my office or whatever to this. If we have if we can smoothen out the user journey so much where it's like I send you like, here's the QR code, dude, or whatever. You scan it, get a little wallet set up, onboard a little cash, straight into the market. People would eat that shit up, bro. You know what I mean? I get to be
You
my
and
own.
your friends are having a beer, arguing who's gonna win the Rookie of the Year, and let's make a market for it. Let's all bet on it. It's stuff like that. So
Yeah. Now, I guess my one question is, so like if it's an AI and it's trolling like news, so you can't be something so specific as like will Drac drink 4 or 5 beers at this party? I can't be like that specific, right?
yeah, if something can be manipulated, the AI will not accept it instantly, and it will be for review. But we try to accept as much as possible to keep it decentralized. But let's say, will Drac have 4 beers? Yes or no? Like, we can't accept those kinds of markets just because Drac himself can just drink 4 beers and win the market. And for conclusion, like there's like some uh some niche markets that are not that the AI won't pick up. That, for example, like it's Sonic specific, something that the AI can pick up. The AI won't resolve it. It's gonna say under review, and then we can manually do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so everything needs to have some sort of like truth arbitration point that is like as neutral as possible. Something to keep in mind. But at the end of the day, let's fucking bet on this shit.
I was trying to find the video clip real fast, but I figured I wouldn't sort through it. But yeah, I like this idea.
If you're in crypto, you have to have watched Uncut Gems because it describes your life basically. Assistant asked, "What are our thoughts on the Zelensky suit situation?"
We were just talking about that probably before you hopped on. But what I was saying is that's like my favorite thing to watch on Polymarket is these people that will like just go into like semantics on like everything. They'll try to find a way to say, oh, like the fibers in the suit actually make it not a suit, it's a cotton whatever. Or I mean, I don't know, people get like real crazy with it. So yeah, that's a hard one though. I mean, I guess it's like how deep do you have to go? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's interesting looking a little bit more into it. Is that a suit? Is it not? Hard to be binary result? Is he saying it's like hard that it would not be a binary result?
Yeah, like open for interpretation. Because like I said, you get people that can like somehow they'll find a way to argue that it's not a suit somehow. So
yeah, it's like a suit is kind of it is like kind of like a specific term, but it's also kind of a broad term in a way, right? Like power suit, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what if you showed up in a Hillary Clinton power suit? Did that count? But looking at it a little bit more, it's kind of interesting in that this might be similar to some problems you might be facing in the future, Vince. Is that so like if you can taint like the AI's pool of information, right? Especially if it's like a small market that like might get like 1 or 2 news stories about it, because what they're claiming in the poly market discussion is that there are groups of people that have multiple accounts on Discord and social media that give the impression of widespread consensus behind an outcome they bet on. So they kind of like, they would like, let's say for the Zelensky suit thing, they'll just post everywhere, I can't believe Zelensky didn't wear a suit. I can't believe Zelensky didn't wear a suit. Like 10,000 sock puppet accounts, and they're flooding the poly market forums. And so that's why people kind of like the consensus gets flipped. But I guess also if you guys are just, the simple solution is you just control what
we got some people that review the outcome that the AI concludes, because like there was one issue with Polymarket that, like what you said, they're posting everywhere just to manipulate the results. That's going to be the outcome and the wording as well. And we are looking for solutions for that. And the best solution we have found is we have multiple people that check the AI resolution every day, as long as, because we do have a timer so we know when it ends. And the wording itself is the wording, the AI is gonna conclude what the wording actually means. because its wording is pretty open to interpretation. But for results that can be manipulated, we do have some people who check it constantly just to make sure the result is true.
Right on. Okay, cool. So you do have also additional oversight and stuff.
Yeah,
Nice.
on top of the AI, we have some additional oversights. I mean, we can't. I mean, even if we want to, you need to have some sort of protection because it's money's people involved. So AI that it resolves it, and we add an extra layer of protection, but we don't manipulate it in any way. If AI says it's unconclusive, it will just be a refund. For example, like the Zelensky suit, it's pretty open for interpretation. It's going to be a refund. Uh, we don't try to manipulate it in a way. Oh, for us, it's a suit, so we're concluding it as a yes. If the AI is split, and we think we don't manipulate it in a way of let's just conclude it to a yes. It's like like the poly market issue. So.
Cool, man. I mean, I'm super excited to play with this some more. Actually, now that we've talked about it, I learned a little bit more about it. Now, expect to see. Guys, expect me to post some markets that I'm making. You know what I mean? But I wanted to ask Vince, what's next? What's next for SpinDash? What are you guys doing?
Oh, that's a good question. Like I said before, users earn revenue, and we will be adding USDC, eggs, finance, goggles, and we're also looking into Shadow. But what's coming up next is actually a pretty big thing. We're gonna be launching our NFTs. They will be utility NFTs. Uh, the utility is gonna be uh, NFT owners that create Sonic markets and USDC markets, meaning bet is going to be in S and USDC, they will earn 50% more in revenue. So they will be earning more in the revenue share on top of the initial 9%. They will be earning more when they're holding NFTs. So that's a pretty cool thing. And the other utility for the upcoming NFT is we're actually creating a Mario Kart type of game, like a racing game, and it's pretty cool because with Sonic Speed, one of the main issues with creating a game in a chain is how fast it is, especially if it's a multiplayer 6-player game or a 1v1 game. It's real time speed, and what we've experienced so far while creating this Mario Kart type of game is that Sonic Speed is actually perfect for it. So that's one of the other utility that the NFT will have. So the NFT will be released with the integration of the token. So it will be cool.
Instant finality when you're getting bashed by a turtle shell.
Yeah.
You can't get that anywhere else.
We're actually testing the game out right now. It's pretty close to final stages, but we'll be releasing the NFTs in 10 days, and we have to integrate the NFT to the game itself. But the game itself is already running, so it's a bit of an alpha. And one more thing that we're upgrading is because we're like priding ourselves with being the centralized Gamble FAI, so we're kicking our AI up a notch. So so just so apart from the like discussed earlier, like users can use the AI to rate their bet. Like what I mean by rate is like if you make a bet and you say rate my bet, like it will pull data like risk and reward ratio, percentage, like stuff you can win. Or let's say you bet on the Golden State Warriors and you click on rate on bet, and it will say news for like Golden State Warriors saying Steph is injured. You get more information, and the AI will rate your bet. So it's gonna be a cool extra stuff too.
Hell yeah. Okay. Cool.
Hey guys,
Hey.
I joined because I wanted to ask a question. I mean, I don't really know much about like how the prediction markets work, but one thing I always wondered, especially with like the Zelensky thing, is why don't they put more details in the start of the market, like to define more granular, right? Like I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what a different
You would specify the exact type of suit he'd wear, like a typical Western suit with a coat with a jacket.
Yeah, like or even if it's a color, right? Because somebody might say, well, that's not purple, that's blue or something. Like is there a way that like you think that these prediction markets, because from what I understand, the way that and I've heard this in the past couple of months is like Polymarket uses the UMA oracles, but like UMA oracles can like be manipulated by like I guess whales. So like you can actually rug the market, right? But I heard recently that like Polymarket's is making their own like source of truth. But the thing is that I get confused about is like these things aren't decentralized necessarily, right? Like, do people really care about the decentralization of the actual decision making? Because most of the decision making is pretty binary. Like, if you go to sports betting, like every single sports betting website, like they use an aggregator of truth, right? So they're all Web2 companies. So how do they find out that the OKC won the championship? It's like they're not using AI and searching the internet, right? They have like these reliable sources of truth that are like Web2 data providers. So why aren't they just using that instead of using UMA for things that are like verifiably true?
Yeah.
That's a
So,
good question. So, uh, the reason why we use AI is like you said, what Polymarket does is they try to put more explanations for the wording itself. But again, it's open for interpretation, right? So we use AI just to, let's say you create uh, a market that's open for interpretation, and our AI will like explain it, uh, like how the wording actually is. So it's not open for interpretation. It's either this or that. It's either this or that. So it won't be up to the person to interpret how the wording works. If you get what I mean. Like, let's say, uh, is this a hot dog? Yes or no? Like, uh, AI will say it's just pretty straight up, and if our AI says it's not pretty straight up, the wording, it will get rejected. Like, for us, that's how it works. Like, the AI will reject it if it's open for interpretation, if it's not specific enough, if it's not answerable by yes or no, or like what you said, like real time truth, like a Web2 users create, right? And with us, like what I said, like the one challenge is it's decentralized, right? So anything under the sun. So that's one, like, Corval can create a market that's that that's binary, like, um but the thing is, like, users won't bet on something that is open for interpretation, if you know what I mean. Like, they're not
Mhm.
sure on something. So on top of that, the AI rejects open-ended questions.
Okay, that answers my question. Yeah, I was just curious because I see I see the prediction market stuff like getting bigger, especially with politics and stuff. So politics are pretty easy because it's a binary. It's like if a bill is passing in Congress or not passing, right?
Yeah.
But
You're like
certain things are.
or like if AOC is pregnant or not.
Is that a market?
No, I'm just saying that's
like,
speculation.
what?
The only type of prediction market I want to hear about right now is Joey Chestnut going to win the hot dog eating competition?
Oh yeah.
This can be pretty cool.
That's all I want to know. I want to know where can I watch. And oh, that's the other thing too. Poly market, any prediction market, if it's a live event, that's where the money's at. Because then if you're able to stream and like watch a game and then also bet, oh my god,
Oh yeah.
savage.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's totally like, I mean, because that's like the ultimate experience, honestly. If you've ever been to Vegas, when you go to like the sports lounge and they put you like in this big ass, nice, cool recliner. They bring the drinks right to your chair. You got a little screen in the chair, and it's like the Matrix, like the architect in the Matrix. There's
Yeah,
like
they
there's
don't
like
want you to
100.
get out of that
Yeah,
chair.
there's 100 screens on this giant wall, and you can literally bet on anything while you're just sitting there watching it live.
And drinking like bottomless, like the worst alcoholic beverages ever.
Oh yeah,
Are
yeah,
they
Like horrible.
are they bad because they're extremely strong because they want you hammered so you keep betting and don't move?
yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the plan. I mean, but I mean, yeah, but like
Oh my god.
like like assistant saying,
That's
I mean,
that's gonna be me in about 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. This
Live stream from the 4th of July barbecue with me fucking choking down a ton of glizzies.
Now, how about this though? So, Assistant made a little joke here. I want a prediction market on Corval's Fitbit. What if we did set up something like that? We have a data feed that you can.
It's like Steppen. It's like
That would be something
Steppen meets Poly Market.
I won't probably pick it up.
Dude, I was thinking that you said that. Imagine that a reality show like My 600-Pound Life or something, but it's got an attached betting market.
Bro,
Right.
Corval, I would not trust you at all. Like you would be manipulating that Fitbit. You'd like you'd put it on your dog or something and just like let it run around in the yard all day.
No way. Like it would be it'd be one of those ones that like locks in, dude. I wouldn't be able to take it off. It'd be like what are this? Like ankle monitor.
Ankle monitor. Wait, this is like a fucking decentralized Squid Game with gambling.
Possible is what I'm getting at. Yeah.
I'm in. I'm so down.
What was that? There was like a reality show that was like that, like Biggest Loser. It was like people come on and like try to lose weight or whatever.
There we go.
They win depending on how much pounds they've lost. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Think of the motivation for those people on this show too. It'd be like,
No, but
grand.
This one I want there to be like drugs involved, like tons of drugs to see like if who dies first, basically. Like it's a death race.
Wow.
So this is the new champion. This is the guy that's Kobayashi retired, and this is the new guy.
Yeah, this is Joey Chestnut.
Wait, you've never heard of Joey Chestnut? Hold on a second.
Like
You think, bro?
Dog eating something, right?
You think Kobayashi is good, bro? This guy is not human.
Yeah,
wrestler, dude.
Absolutely not human whatsoever. Oh, I got to run in a minute. But one thing I will say is I watched a David Blaine documentary on National Geographic, and he meets Kobayashi in Japan. And Kobayashi tells him that when he's eating all of these hot dogs, on average, he's drinking 5 liters of water.
Ugh.
And the water is what expands his stomach so that he can hold down the glizzies.
Oh God, dude!
Bro, he drinks 5 liters of water in literally like less than 5 minutes.
I just want to say I hope King is enjoying his retirement.
Look at this,
bro. That he's super rich, bro. He's super like celebrity.
Did you hear what he said when he retired? He said, "I no longer hunger."
Wow, what a statement!
Crazy thing to say, isn't it? Anyway. Oh God,
he's got him, dude. He's got him.
He's got the organic glizzies. He
Yeah,
can't
dude.
wait to get those in his mouth. Look at him. He's hovering, dude. He wants them so bad.
Oh man.
Well, it is the 4th. So enjoy those, assistant. Now,
Yeah.
thanks, Vince, so much for talking to us about SPINDASH 2. This was awesome. Do you want to stick around, or if you want to go, you can go too. We got a couple other things we want to talk about here. We got Andre's latest post about Sonic Consensus 2 and some other
I
big
might be
news.
going for now. Thank you guys for having me. This was such a great opportunity, and happy 4th of July. I'm gonna get ready as well to celebrate the 4th of July with my family outdoor. So thank you guys for having me. I really enjoyed this. So.
We definitely got to have you back too once you guys launch these new features. Loving the product, and keep it up, man.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
You guys have a great day.
Peace. Now, now moving on to, you guys finally. I talked about this a little bit on the stream last night, Trek. I was like, I feel like everyone's finally. They bullied Andre. They bullied the shit out of him. And now he's having to make posts. He's having to make posts that could have come out on the goddamn Sonic Labs account. He wants to be. Look, I can tell you exactly what Andre is doing right now. Okay, he's in a dark dungeon, dark basement. Okay, he's blocked out all the lights, and he's watching that horse girl racing anime, and he's programming at the same time. That's exactly what's happening. And every time you guys tweet enough, the assistant has to like creep down, and it casts like one pane of light into the room, and Andre's like, It's like you have to tweet. You have to tweet.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening. Honestly, I mean, I was what I was working on grabbing right here was kind of like a actual screenshot of the lab. Yeah, I mean when they say Sonic Labs, they mean this workspace right here. This is what they're talking about. So if it's ever, there we go. There it is. So yeah, that's where Andre's actually working on all this stuff. You know, you got to cut him some slack. He's pretty busy. He's doing like 5 things at once, you know. So
Wait, this is making me go. This is reminding me of that rabbit hole I went down of like goon battle stations. I think is what they're called.
Goon battle stations.
This is the one here.
I'll put your thing back on stage there. Sorry.
No, we got to get to what's actually behind this first. But this is where I got my start. So this is why I can relate to Andre. He and I are on the same. You know, we've been through the same struggle basically. Because this is where I came from.
The goon battle station,
dude. Look at that. You know, some real shit was getting done there. Double stacked monitors, but anyway, there's a lot going on there. Anyway, back to business here. Here's what Andre had to say. He's been working on building on Sonic was made easy 6+ months ago. Wait, I already read this. Deja vu. But a new Sonic client is coming live in the coming weeks. It's going to have account abstraction, dynamic fees, and gas subsidies. So it's going to be even easier to optimize your application and maximize your revenue stream. And you're also going to be able to, what does this say? Leverage the Sonic tech stack, but also utilize these new tools to further improve your business on chain. Okay, we're a little redundant there. But next up, Sonic CS 2.0. So this was the exciting part for me too. So account abstraction, sick. Dynamic fees, okay, cool. Gas subsidies. Sure, Dracula likes that. Now, CS2, 2.0, Counter-Strike 2.0. I love that. The idea we're bringing Counter-Strike to the Sonic network.
on-chain.
For a while, yeah, on-chain. And it's going to be 2 times as fast and lose 68% less memory.
Yeah, it's big, man. It's, you know, I think those two out of the 3 here, especially the account abstraction with gas subsidies, I believe this was talked about kind of like early, you know, when they were first kind of revealing some things, some plans for Sonic. But those kind of things are great for onboarding retail, really. I mean, it's like, you know, if you have an app that's more retail friendly or just even, I don't know, it could be something that's not even DeFi, right? I mean, it could just be that, you know, like let's say, there was a streaming platform on Sonic, you know, and you had to have a wallet or whatever, you know, you could be promoting it, put QR codes on stuff. They scan the QR code, boom, they got an account because it's linked to their X and they already got a wallet with a little bit of gas in there. They don't got to try to, you know, add a chain to their wallet or get some Sonic over to like do something. So it's a pretty powerful thing, really, you know, if people put it to use.
For sure. And I think it would be ridiculous not to, because I mean, even the example we were just talking about was SPINDASH, right? Imagine, you know, you get a little betting pool going for, I don't know, for local politics or something. I don't know. Something easily you can verify.
Yeah.
Very easy just to put up the QR codes, get people on board. And that's the volume, baby. That's the volume I'm talking about. We need volume, speed, numbers through here. Okay. So exciting stuff. I also want to mention, if you went to Vienna, you would have also heard about this. We got to hear this, not from Andre, but I think from the horse's mouth. The
Dr. B.
I don't remember if it was Dr. B that was talking about this one, but it was someone on the team, Dr. B's team. And it's huge stuff. So it's very technical, but it's really cool in that I'm not going to give you guys the full technical explanation of what's happening here, but they basically found out how to have like consensus elections slightly overlap. So it just increases speed quite a bit. So this on top of other upgrades that are coming to the database, it's going to be super, 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 super fast, incredible throughput. Yeah. That was my number one takeaway from Vienna. And I'm glad to see it's like progressing.
Already coming out. Yeah. And I mean, not to, you know, not to say that dynamic fees will be great too, considering that BM has ended up being like a huge success. It has actually brought people to the chain to build. And with those dynamic fees, that means that if you're a builder, Especially if you have a platform that has a lot of TXs, a lot of gas, that's only going to earn you more FEM. So I think that was the right move there to further, just incentivize FEM as much as possible for builders. But yeah, I mean, the account abstraction with the gas subsidy, I think is huge. Looking forward to playing with that. Yeah, Mahogany here says he's 99% sure that this is what Flying Tulip is waiting on, is for that account abstraction.
Yankee agrees with you here. He also is saying that the account abstraction, dynamic fees, and gas subsidies were what Flying Tulip was waiting for. So guys,
you can bet your 0.0001 of gas subsidy. Go ahead and put that in leverage. Free money.
Now, when I make the market after this show for is Flying Tulip going to be coming out in the next month, you guys are going to bet on it, right? You guys going to give me those fees?
I'm going to bet on it. Yeah.
Hopefully no one front runs me, because if someone front runs me, then I'm going to have to find Andre and get him to tell me when it's going to come out so I can win that market.
Yeah, this should be easy.
Yeah. I'm going to triangulate his location from the last place he posted a photo, which I think was New York. Now, this other one coming up, Kraken, one of the first exchanges I ever used because they had very lax KYC.
Mm-hmm.
Now available on Kraken USDC on Sonic. Oh, so this is just Sonic USDC. So Sonic has been on Kraken, but now the USDC can be sent back and forth.
Yeah, which is, it's huge. For instance, Coinbase, it's like whenever I have to onboard, I'm always going Avalanche USDC. And there's a couple reasons for that. It's because, they have their own standards for consensus and stuff. So like, for instance, way back in the day when Polygon would have been the fastest and cheapest, sometimes you still had to wait like 10, 11, 12 hours to like actually get your funds and all that stuff. So like, that's part of why I had switched to Avalanche, was because it was always like just way faster than, using even like, using Ethereum or any of the L2s or, so Sonic, I think this is kind of like a great strategy to go to all the exchanges and push USDC, because this stuff's going to come through super fast. Everything's going to be, have finality really fast. So, if you're somebody that, moves money around a lot on centralized exchanges, I guarantee someone even just tries this once, they're going to want to use Sonic USDC. So I think it's a good move to, really push this. It's already on Binance. And Kraken, that's a great move. Hopefully we see it. If we see it on Coinbase, it's game over. When they finally get, they've already laid the rails for Sonic on Coinbase, which is the hard part. So now we could see something like USDC being accepted there.
Yeah, I'm sure that's coming soon. And like you said, game changer, dude. Game changer. Ethereum and Polygon lose a lot of Polygon, Avalanche. All these other altcoins are going to lose a lot of volume from me having to move through them to get out and in. Now, next up here, similarly bullish, more curiosity to me. I'm curious about what's going to happen here. Shaka here's post. It was going around that the Labs team had bought a bunch of ecosystem tokens and also a bunch of meme tokens, and we're making these pools on Beethoven, the memes pool, and the Sonic Co-op Eco Points Hub. So looking at it here, I think this is the full list, but we've got Shadow, Equal, Staked S, Metro, and SwapX all in one pool. About, I thought it was like 33,000 of each. But it looks more like it was probably around like 20 grand of each.
Yeah. It was, all the buys were 66,666 S. So,
okay.
Yeah. So I think it's about 20 something thousand per buy.
Okay. Yeah. Here I'm seeing it's right here. Yeah. The 66,666. And then we also have the meme version here, and that's got Goggles, THC, Derp. Was there another one in there?
No, as far as yesterday, that was the main. In fact, I got the pool right here. Yeah, so yesterday was THC goggles derp, kind of like the first foray into the memes. We had a big DeFi pool the day before. So they've said, Labs has said this isn't the end. This is just kind of like just kicking it all off. So yeah, curious to see what they add next. They're saying there's more to come. So
yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes. Because I mean, like these buys are not like massive, guys. Like this isn't like
if I have it correct, I think the idea comes from a pool that Assistant had, or a poll, I mean, where I think the reason that the numbers are very specific on the buys is that I think this ties into the funds somewhere. I can't remember if it's the airdrop funds or if it's leftover funds from something else, but these are like extra funds that they're putting to work. And I think it's a good idea, to invest in the ecosystem, especially if they're, it's extra funds that are available that need to be used for something, it's a good initiative.
I agree. I think it's a good idea. I just wanted to point out that, this isn't like, what would you call it? Like a charity buy or whatever. They just made like a pool. They made a couple pools, farming some fees and stuff. I mean, it helps the ecosystem. But it's not like what do you call it?
Well, there's a difference between, like, for instance, Anon was like a strategic investment.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 400,000 S, which is a huge, a huge investment. So yeah, this is coming from like a different pool of funds. This is more like, hey, we could use these funds laying around to make ecosystem buys. It's ultimately, they've kind of made their preliminary ones, but there's more coming. So I guess, what we should find out is how much funds are going to be allocated to this. But I would say that the reception in terms of the community and everything, everybody's very excited, very happy about it. So I would imagine these are going to continue.
Oh yeah, I think so too. Now, last bit of crypto news I've got here is the Robinhood OpenAI equity, which, just for anyone who doesn't know, we talked about this last show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we showed the Robinhood unveiling of the.
Mm-hmm. So this is kind of like what I was suspected. Not exactly this, but just from my understanding of how Robinhood works, like they can stop trading and all this other evil shit. But I've always found it kind of strange how like their agreement is that like you don't actually own any of the stocks or assets that you buy on Robinhood. You own the right to whatever, right? Which is a slight difference, just a very slight difference. But I feel like the custodial agreement is a little bit less in your favor than a typical brokerage agreement. And here they've ventured into crypto and they're doing something even more psychotic and exploitive in that. So the OpenAI equity that is represented on Robinhood is a fake token representing a share of future profits for a nonprofit organization that is trying to convert to a for-profit organization. So these OpenAI tokens are not OpenAI equity. Yeah. OpenAI is it's trying to become a for-profit organization, but it's a nonprofit, and you don't even have the rights to the profits of them anyway.
Yeah. That's what I love about this move, though, is that I love the idea of that's why they're using closed equity for these tokens, right? Because it was OpenAI and what was the other one? SpaceX, or I can't remember what it was. Yeah. So, it's wild that OpenAI comes back and goes, we don't have like a partnership with Robinhood or anything, because it's like, yeah, they're literally shit coins. They're literally just the value of these is truly like has no, maybe they've started it based on like what, like closed equity is trading at, but I doubt it's going to like follow those prices. It's probably, they're tokens that people can speculate on. So
those closed equity deals, I mean, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but they're extremely like volatile because there's no volume, right? It's all like one-off deals for closed equity, right? Like it's a negotiated deal. It's not like trading on the open market where you have the volume to find like actual price discovery because it's so speculative.
Yeah.
That's why like Elon can, take a loan against well, I guess not. That's actually a different thing. But, when he's like trying to assess his value, it's like you can just blow it up to whatever the fuck you want because this isn't actually trading. It's just like, what was the last sale that happened for Tesla equity or whatever? And because these are not trading the actual assets, they're synthetic asset, and they're not backed by the underlying asset. This seems like it is just a shit coin, dude. You might as well have just called it the OpenAI token and launched it on Pump Fund. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I love it. So I got to say though, obviously Robinhood being a gigantic entity, I'm assuming that they obviously had all this run through whatever legal channels they had to do. So it is kind of hilarious. It's like, it's like you could just say like, hey, I'm putting Arby's on my L2.
Yeah.
Like get your Arby's coin,
It honestly does kind of make me think like, why didn't someone do this before? But I guess it only works because Robinhood has the brand to make it feel more legit.
You know what it makes me think about is this was in the bear market. You probably remember this, but there was this really brief meta, and somebody made a whole website for it where I think it was a Solana meta, but it was literally just coins on sports players. And literally you were just trading, I guess, mind share or something. It was just like every player in the NFL, and each player had a token that represented them, and that's it. People were just solely buying, and they kept everything like concentrated onto their website. It was like some kind of DEX or something.
Yeah.
But this is kind of what it makes me think about, where it's like, I mean, if they're going to do this, you can literally just do anything. You can just be like, hey, here's the official token for the non-existent shares of, like anything. I mean, it's just like Coke Zero, not Coke, but Coke Zero. You know what I mean? Like, we're putting it on chain.
The player one makes a lot, like some more sense to me in that, like, well, honestly, if you phrase it all as like mind share, they all can kind of work in that way, right? Like the Coca-Cola stock price is one thing, but then the Coca-Cola token is tracking like how many people actually like Coca-Cola or how popular it is, how much they brand, I guess. But the sports player one's interesting to me because it's like, that seems like something that you could possibly maybe integrate into some fantasy football kind of massive fantasy football league if you were to run like a big one.
Yeah, I think that if they had honestly launched that at the right time, it could have actually maybe done well. You know what I mean? Like if they had timed the bull market and maybe there was a little more retail and stuff. And it did pop off, but like I said, this launched like in like desolate, like complete bottom bear market. So like people played on it for like a couple weeks and then, it kind of fizzled out. And I think it was a play on, remember there was an entire chain that the whole chain was just like meme tokens, and they kind of did something similar where it was, the DEX was like self-contained and it was like 100 tokens. And I don't even think it was like a launcher. Like, I don't even think it was like, oh, people can just go in and launch. It was just straight up like, here's like 100 different tokens. You guys go in and speculate on like, what's the best, what's the worst,
Was that like the unicorn chain?
Yeah. I forgot. I think it was just called unicorn. I can't remember, but yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
They gave me like an airdrop.
Yeah, they had a decent airdrop, and it was in the bear market, so everybody was just like, like praise be.
But like the things you were trading were literally like strawberry emoji, dolphin emoji.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like literally random emojis.
Yeah, like they weren't even like real. Like I said, it was like weird because they weren't even like real tokens. You had to trade it just in this concentrated, and that's what this like sports thing was. Like I said, it was just literally like 100 NFL players, and you just bought and sold the tokens.
Hell yeah, and that's what we're doing now with companies.
Yeah, so that's what I was getting at. Is we should just we can just put anything on chain that's just like, doesn't have stock or anything.
We're gonna start tokenizing the trees and the mountains and the lakes and the oceans.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Pacific Ocean token, dude.
South says that beef and cheddar dough. That's what I'm saying, man. We're gonna make an L2 and we're gonna put Arby's on it.
That sauce thing, that cheese sauce.
Yeah, dude.
Sauce.
It's like nacho cheese, you know? It's like the fake artificial.
It's like even better than nacho cheese. It's strange, isn't it?
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's hot or cold. It's just like
It's always liquid, dude.
oh man. But
God,
yeah.
I'm jitter now. All right. Well, that's all I've got. You got anything else, Strack?
That's really it today. Playing it loose this morning for the 4th. So
I think it was pretty good though. I think we got some good stuff. It was fun to talk to SPINDASH. Always good seeing the assistant as well. Now we got another show Tuesday, typical time next week. Man, some of those bear market airdrops were good. That is true. I think Ina was a bear market airdrop, and that one was pretty good.
Yeah, there was Ina. We were just talking about this the other day, how like the pump fund token kind of feels like the final from that era. It's like the last one we haven't gotten, you know, like $1 billion token. You know, it's like we got Hype, we got Ina, we got Wormhole, we got Jupiter, we got Camino. You know, it's like we're kind of like, I feel like pump funds like the final, you know, the final one before I guess we look at, okay, who's coming, you know, what airdrop is coming next, you know, like as far as big protocols. Who's
next up to give me some money, dang it.
Exactly.
But yeah, so if you guys know any other airdrops, let us know. Sonic, the Sonic airdrop, that's the next one.
Oh yeah, Paul said the OP, yeah. The OP airdrops were actually surprisingly pretty juicy, especially, or you know, this is going way back in the bear market, but like, you know, the Arbitrum airdrop fed millions.
Yeah, dude,
that was a great week.
Hell yeah, I didn't get anything on Arbitrum. I missed the boat on that one, but that one, if I remember, that one did come out hot, dude. Came out hot valuation. Never recovered.
Yeah, yeah, never recovered. But that was a very nice week when everything was 99% down, you know. So,
well, guys, I hope everyone has a happy 4th of July, and we'll see you Tuesday. Thank you all so much for watching, and be sure to like, subscribe, all that stuff. Join the TG, and
join the TG. Sign up for the weekly newsletter, and we'll be back next week.
All right, folks. Till next time. Adios.
GMSONIC is Corval and Dracula Presley. GM.